My boss just tried to frame me a $15,000 work expense for a client dinner that I've never been to this restaurant. In fact, I was in Durham during this event, caring for my sick mom, and now HR is calling me into the office to explain myself for this charge. And you want to know why my boss did this? Simply because I would not accept his advances, so now I'm going for revenge. I need your perspective. I'm a mess. I'm sitting on a bombshell that could either save me or ruin my life, and I'm paralyzed. Yesterday, HR hauled me into a meeting accusing me of embezzling $15,000 through a fake expense report. My boss, Lachlan, who I've always kept at arm's length, is behind it all. I know it because he sent me an email admitting that he faked the reports to teach me a lesson. After I shut down his creepy advances at our company retreat in Asheville last month. Worse, my coworker Leora, who I thought was my ride or die work friend, helped him forge the documents for a promotion. And now she's playing innocent while I'm staring down termination unless I cooperate with Lachlan's demands. I could expose them with the email, but it might torch my career in this tight-knit industry. Do I risk it all to clear my name or play along to keep my job? Have you ever been betrayed like this at work? I've been at this mid-sized marketing firm in Raleigh, North Carolina for 3 years. We're about 80 people specializing in digital campaigns for local businesses. I'm a senior account manager handling clients like craft breweries and boutique hotels. My work's solid. Last year, I landed a $200,000 contract that got me a shout-out at our annual meeting. Lachlan, my boss, is the director of client services. He's 42, charismatic in that little car salesman way, and has a knack for making you feel like you owe him. He's married, but you would never know it from the way he acts at company events. I've always dodged his vibe, keeping things strictly professional, but he's got this way of making jokes that feel like he's testing the water, like asking me to stay late just to chat or commenting on my outfit in front of the team. Leora's been my work confidant since I started. She's 28. She's smart as a whip, and a graphic designer who'd always have my back, or so I thought. We would grab coffee at the Sir Walter Cafe downtown, vent about deadlines, and even hang out outside of work to get a drink. Like when we hit trivia night at the local bar in February. She knew about my family struggles. My mother's been battling lung cancer. I've been helping with her medical bills, which eats up most of my savings. Leora was the one I cried to when Mom's chemo got delayed last summer because of insurance. I trusted her completely, which makes what she did sting even more. Then there's Hollis, our HR rep. He's in his 50s, quiet, and seems like he's just counting days until retirement. He's not malicious, but he is spineless, always deferring to Lachlan. Finally, there's my junior colleague. His name is Thane. He's 25, who's new but eager. He's very awkward, but he's always trying to prove himself, and I've been mentoring him. He's the one who's noticed something is off with me lately, but I have not told him the full story just yet. Well, the trouble started at our company retreat in Asheville. It was October 15th through the 17th. It was a fancy lodge in the Blue Ridge Mountains, all expenses paid. It was meant to boost team morale. And Lachlan was in rare form buying rounds and telling stories, and getting too close during group activities. On the second night at a bonfire, he cornered me while I was grabbing a drink. He started with small talk, then leaned in saying I would go too far. If it was up to him, he should be more open with me. His hand brushed my waist and I froze. I told him I'm not interested, and I kept it polite but firm and walked away. He laughed it off, but his eyes were cold. I didn't tell anyone, not even Leora, because I didn't want to make a wave. A week later, back in Raleigh, Lachlan starts acting weird. He'd assign me impossible deadlines, critique my work in front of people, especially clients, and forget to include me in key meetings. I thought he was just being petty, but then I got an email from him on November 2nd. It was at 2:13 in the morning. I was up late working and saw it pop into my inbox. Well, I say I was working, but I was really making a Lego collection. It was sent from his personal Gmail, not his work account, and it was bone-chilling. He admitted to faking an expense report for $15,000 client entertainment charge and pinning the blame on me. He said it was my fault for playing hard to get, and that I could make it go away if I played nice. My stomach dropped, and I saved the email but did not reply. I could not sleep that night, replaying every interaction, wondering if I would lead him on somehow. I confided in Leora the next day over coffee. I didn't show her the email, just told her Lachlan was targeting me after the retreat. She seemed shocked, said that he'd always been off and promised to keep an eye out. I felt relieved, thinking I had an ally. It was a big mistake, because on November the 20th, Hollis called me to the HR room. He slid a manila folder across the table with an expense report dated October 20th, showing $15,000 charged to my company card for a client dinner at a restaurant I've never been to. Hollis said the finance team must have flagged it, and Lachlan claimed I submitted it, and, well, I did not cooperate with Lachlan's investigation. I'd be fired and possibly reported to the police. My head was spinning. I knew it was a setup, but I didn't mention the email. I just said I would look into it and left. That's when things got weird. See, I started digging into said expense report. The receipts looked off, the fonts did not match our usual template, and the date was a Sunday when I was visiting Mother in Durham. I asked Thane, who's good with technology, to help me check the metadata on the digital copy Hollis sent me. He's 25, he found it instantly, and he saw it was created on November 10th, not October 20th, and edited by someone with the username Leora M. My heart sank. Leora had access to the expense system, and she helped me with the reports before. I confronted her at her desk, keeping it vague, asking if she'd seen anything weird with the expense filling. She got defensive, said she was swamped with her new project, and she just walked away. And that's when I noticed her new laptop, a pricey model that she's been eyeing but could not afford. Later, Thane overheard her bragging to another designer about a promotion to lead designer, effective December the 1st. Here's the first twist. Leora did not just help Lachlan, she orchestrated the fake report. Thane, bless his nosy heart, found a deleted file on the shared drive, a draft of the forged receipt with Leora's notes on how to make it look real. She's been working with Lachlan since September, before the retreat, to set me up, so my only question is why? Because Lachlan promised her the lead designer role, which I've been mentoring her for, thinking we'd both pitch for it next year. She saw me as competition, not a buddy, not a friend. When I found this out, I felt like I've been punched. All those coffee runs, all those late-night ventings that she's been playing with me the whole time? I was reeling, but I didn't confront her yet. Instead, I printed the email from Lachlan and kept it on my bag, along with a screenshot of the file metadata. I was terrified. Exposing Lachlan could mean legal troubles for him, but our industry is small. He's got connections everywhere, and I've seen him ruin people who cross him. If I go public, I could lose my job, my reputation, and any chance at another gig in Raleigh, but staying silent means letting him control me, and I'm not sure I can stomach it. Then came the second twist. On December 1st, 2024, Thane came to me with a bombshell. He's been digging without me asking, and found an email chain between Lachlan and Hollis, accidentally CC'd to a shared HR inbox. Thane had access as part of the training program, and in it, Lachlan told Hollis to push me to corporate or face termination. But Hollis replied that he was uncomfortable because Lachlan had done this before, framed another employee, a woman who quit 2 years ago after a similar pressure. Hollis had covered it up then, fearing for his own job, and was now worried about legal blowback. Lachlan's response was, "Handle it, or you're next." Hollis is complicit, but he's also a coward, and now I know Lachlan's been pulling this stunt for years. It's not just me, he's a serial predator. I'm at a crossroads. I could take the email and metadata to a lawyer and blow this wide open. I've got a consultant booked for December the 10th, with a labor attorney out in Durham. But I'm scared. My mother's medical bills are piling up, and her latest treatment cost $8,000 out of pocket. If I lose my job, I cannot cover it. Plus, Leora's acting like nothing happened, smiling at me in meetings while I'm sweating bullets. Thane's urging me to fight, but he's young and doesn't get how messy this could get. Lachlan's the real villain here. His slimy charm hides a calculated monster who's been gaming the system forever. I keep thinking about that woman who quit 2 years ago. Did she give in? Did she fight and lose? Here's where I'm stuck. If I expose Lachlan and Leora, I risk my career and financial stability. Our industry talks like word gets around and I could be blacklisted. But if I play along, I'm letting Lachlan win, and who knows what he'll demand next. Leora's betrayal, it cuts deep. She used my trust to climb over me. Part of me wants to confront her, but I know that she'll just lie. I've been having nightmares about the bonfire, Lachlan's smirk, Leora's fake sympathy, and I even mixed up a client's name in a meeting last week because I'm so distracted. Hollis noticed and gave me a warning. I'm leaning forward because I think I might fight back, but it's not going to be a clean fight. Thane says he'll back me up, but he's a junior. He could get dragged down with me through the dirt. My mother doesn't know. She thinks I'm just stressed about work. I keep a tiny pressed flower from her garden in my wallet to remind me why I'm grinding so hard. I want justice, but I don't want to lose everything. Guys, have you ever been stabbed in the back like this at work? Did you fight or did you fold? And my question for you is, am I the a-hole for even considering playing along to save myself? Resolution. Victory. Posted December 8th, 2024. I went to a lawyer. She reviewed the email metadata and Thane's finding and said that I have a strong case for a whistleblower claim, but it'll be a slog. Potentially years of legal battle, and I forwarded everything to compare, and, well, I sent it to corporate too. HR in Charlotte bypassing Hollis. Yesterday, they suspended Lachlan pending investigation, but Leora's still in her new role, claiming she was misled. Hollis is cooperating with corporate, but threw me under the bus saying I knew about the report and did not report it sooner. Well, obviously, they let me keep my job for now, but I'm on probation and the office is a minefield. People whisper when I walk by, and I heard someone call me drama queen in the break room. My mother's proud that I stood up, but I'm drained. I won, kind of, but I'm still looking over my shoulder and I don't trust anyone here anymore. Edit. 7 days later. Thank you for the comments, and to clarify, yes, I have backups of all the evidence on a personal drive. No, I have not confronted Leora directly. My lawyer advised against it. The $15,000 figure came from a fake dinner. It was charged to a client who doesn't even exist. I checked, and no, I did not report the retreat incident immediately because I was scared and didn't have proof until the email. I know I should have acted sooner. Hindsight's brutal. And I'm not sure what comes next, but I'm keeping my head down and job hunting quietly. Any advice on navigating office fallouts or legal action in the next step? Update. 30 female exposed my boss for faking a $15,000 expense report to frame me after I rejected him, and my coworker friend betrayed me for the promotion. Here's how it ended. Hey guys. I posted a month ago about my boss Lachlan framing me for embezzlement after I rejected his creepy advances at a company retreat and my coworker Leora helping him for the promotion. I had a damning email from him admitting the setup but exposing him, and it risked my career, especially with my mother's medical bills piling up. HR was pressuring me to cooperate or face termination, and I was torn. You guys gave me a lot to think about, so here's the update and the end of this drama. After my last post on December the 9th, I was a wreck. Corporate, HR in Charlotte has suspended Lachlan, pending investigation, but I was on a tight probation. Leora was still in her new lead designer role, and Hollis, our spineless HR representative, was covering his tracks by blaming me for not reporting it sooner. The office was toxic, coworkers whispered, and I felt like an outcast. I was secretly job hunting, but Rowley's marketing scene is small, and I worry Lachlan's connections would blacklist me. On December the 12th, 3 days later, my lawyer, he pushed me to escalate. She'd reviewed the email metadata from the forged expense report and Thane's findings, an email chain showing Lachlan had framed another employee years ago. She filed a formal complaint with the corporate and tipped off the company's external auditor. I was terrified, but sent corporate everything. Lachlan's emailed the metadata proving Leora's involvement and screenshots of HR email chains. I also contacted the woman who quit 2 years ago, Marin, through LinkedIn. She confirmed Lachlan had targeted her similarly, but she left without fighting because she could not afford a lawyer. Her story gave me resolve, but also dread, because she struggled to find work afterwards. It's a mess. But, here's the first twist. It was December the 18th. Corporate's investigation uncovered more than I expected just a week before Christmas. Lachlan had not just framed me and Marin, he'd been skimming funds off the top for years. Over $100,000 in fake expenses funneled to a shell company he controls. The $15,000 pinned on me was a test to see if he could get away with a bigger scam while scapegoating me. The auditors, they found a paper trail linking him to 3 other fake reports, one involving a client who was actually his cousin. Lachlan was fired on the spot. December the 20th, and is now facing criminal charges for fraud. Yeah, they're pressing charges. Seeing his smug face go from the office, it just felt like a weight being lifted, but you know what? I know it's not over. The second twist hit harder. Leora was not just a pawn, she's been in on Lachlan's scheme the whole time. The auditors found emails where she helped him draft fake invoices, not just my expense reports, in exchange for a cut of the profits, not just a promotion. She'd used her design skills to forge documents so well that they'd gone unnoticed for months. When corporate confronted her on December the 22nd, she broke down claiming Lachlan coerced her, but the emails showed that she was very eager, called me collateral damage in one message, and she was fired on the spot, and you know what? She's under investigation now, too. I felt sick reading all of it. All those coffee runs, her fake tears when I confided in her. She's been playing me for months. But here's the real deal. Hollis, the HR rep, yeah, he flipped, sang like a canary, flipped on everyone to save himself. On December the 27th, 2 days after we got back from Christmas break, he handed corporate a USB drive with deleted emails, chat logs between Lachlan and Leora, proving he's known about their scheme since October, but stayed quiet to keep his job. He resigned in exchange for immunity from the company's internal disciplinary actions, but he's out of HR for good. Thane, my junior colleague, was the only one who came through. He kept digging, even after I told him to stay out of it, and his findings about the shared drive were key to the auditor's case. By January the 5th, New Year 2025, baby, the dust settled. I was cleared of all wrongdoings, all charges completely gone, and corporate lifted my probation. They offered me a small settlement, $10,000 for workplace distress, which barely covered the legal fees and Mom's latest medical bills, but I took it. Yeah, it's bittersweet. The office is still a minefield, but people treat me like I'm radioactive, and the new director, an outsider named Kale, he's distant. I'm grateful to keep my job, but I don't feel safe here. I've accepted a remote position at a smaller firm in Durham starting February the 1st. It's a pay cut, but it's a fresh start, and I can be closer to Mom during all her treatment. Looking back, I'm proud I fought, but haunted by the cost. My trust in coworkers is shot. Leora's betrayal still stings, and I second-guess everybody now. Lachlan was the real villain, a jerk, who used his charm to manipulate and destroy. His actions targeting me, Marin, and others, while stealing from the company, and it makes him absolutely despicable if you ask me. But he was good at hiding it. You know, some colleagues still defend him. I keep that pressed flower from Mom's garden in my wallet to ground me, but I've added a new habit, triple-checking every email I send, paranoid about being set up again. I'm closing this chapter now, I've learned, to document everything and trust my gut. But I'm done with office politics. So thank you for your advice. It pushed me to fight when I wanted to run. I'm not sure if I'm the a-hole for taking the settlement and leaving instead of pushing for more justice, but I need to move on for my sanity and Mom's health. Have you ever had to walk away from a fight you won just to survive? Edit. 6 days later. Just answering one more quick question. Yes, Lachlan's charges are public. Local news in Raleigh picked it up, but I'm staying anonymous. And his real name isn't Lachlan. No, I decided to change it when I posted on the internet. I don't want you blowing up his messages. And no, I did not confront Leora. My lawyer said it could complicate things. The settlement's already spent on bills, so no, it's not like life-changing. And to the person asking about Thane, he's thriving. He even got a raise. And you know what? We're grabbing coffee next week. He's into older women. I'm not posting more updates. This is it for me. Thanks again. Alright guys, today's story was interesting. I tried to find Lachlan and this exact case maybe because they said that the charges are public, but I could not find any evidence of this online. I know that OP said that she changed the names and Lachlan's not her real boss's name, but I was still trying to find something. It says local news in Raleigh picked it up, but I'm staying anonymous. So that was my first clue, but I still couldn't find anything. Either way, it just makes me wonder, how many times does this happen? This workplace manipulation where a boss sees that, well, he's in a good position to take what he wants from any of his workers. And well, the one girl in the story, she just quit. She didn't even go after him because she said she can't afford a lawyer. So it makes me wonder how many times this happened before. If you've ever been involved in a workplace drama, let me know the story down below in our comment section, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and remember one thing, it's cool to be kind. Peace.